Good morning and happy Friday to you. It is Tony Kurre here at Tony Kurre Radio, checking in here on Facebook Live. Big Father's Day weekend going on, of course, on Sunday. We'll talk about that in just a few minutes. Got some concert news to get into, some birthdays. We'll talk about some other things as well. Man, crazy what happened at MetLife Stadium last night with Paul McCartney. We'll talk about that. But first, I don't know how many times I've said it in 2022, thoughts and prayers. Those words, thoughts, that's probably the three most used words in this country over the last 3 or 4 years. Thoughts and prayers go out to, of course, our friends and family at St. Stephen's Episcopal Church. Last night, the shooting, 2 perished, 1 still injured at the hospital. And I mean, at a potluck dinner at a church. You know, there's a lot of places that we should feel safe, and school is one of those, church is one of those, mall should be one of those. Every place should be safe for friends and family to go. It just really bums me out to see what happens. And again, we love you, we support you, we're behind you all the way. I'm glad it wasn't worse than what it was, but we lost 2 lives, and 1 life's too much. I will say this. You know, we're trying to fix these things. We talk about mental health. We talk about gun laws. We talk about desensitizing in this country. We have just really lost our spirit. I was talking to Dr. Josh last night about it. You know, just 25 years ago, which is just a blip in time, you know, roughly 78 to 80% of Americans went to church. Now that's about half. 50% of people don't even go to church. And the other thing that I think is crazy is roughly 26% of people in the United States, it could be around 23, 24, have no religious affiliation with anything. They're either agnostic, they're atheist, or they just don't believe in any religion at all. And I think there's got to be some type of direct correlation. Al Cooper, good morning to you. We just lost our spirit. And it's not so much, listen, I'm a God-fearing guy, and I think that's super important. But it's really, we lack a spiritual connection for a common good way. And that's the whole thing about, you know, I know people read the Bible every single day and they don't go to church and they feel fine. And that's fine. But that spiritual connection, that community bonding for a common good is so important for us to live, because we are here for 2 reasons. Only 2 reasons. We're here to love each other and to help each other. Love each other and help each other. That's why we always talk about living His will and getting outside yourself. If you get outside yourself and God size your problems, then life is navigate. You can navigate it. You can make it. You can get through the tough times, right? Life comes at you a million miles away, and it's just. I don't know what I'm trying to say here. I really feel like we've lost a spirit here, and I think there's a lot of non-denominational types of churches. As long as you're God-fearing, that's good. But there's a lot of people that just don't have their way. They just don't know where they're going. They don't know what their purpose is. They don't know why they're here. And I know that's a really broad spiritual statement, but something to be said about that. You just look how many people used to go to church, and how many people don't go to church now and just don't have a political affiliation and can't get their ass out of bed at 7:30 to go to church on Sunday morning. I don't have a problem with it. Birthdays, Muhammad Ali would have been 80 today. Betty White would have been 100. Of course, she passed away back in December. Jim Carrey, 60. James Earl Jones, Darth Vader, he turns 91 today. Kid Rock. Kid Rock will say whatever the hell he wants, man, and he does. 51, Steve Earle, Copperhead Road. 67, Mick Taylor, the Rolling Stones. 73, and Barry Stinkin' Manilow is 79 years old. I mentioned I've seen a lot of bucket list shows. I've seen a lot of shows. I saw him at the BJCC Concert Hall about, 10 or 15 years ago. Crazy good. I couldn't believe, first of all, I was like telling all my friends, don't tell them I'm at a Barry Manilow concert. But it was unbelievable. It was great. Don't even know if he's still playing anymore. Also last night, and it's crazy because since the pandemic is now over, COVID still exists, but everyone's getting out and checking out all these great concerts. Dr. Rab Stewart, my good friend, just saw Steely Dan in Atlanta over there at Chastain Park on Tuesday night. I would have given anything to see that the Rolling Stones are on the road. Of course, they've already picked back some of their tours because Mick Jagger's got COVID. But last night, MetLife Stadium, Paul McCartney played a show. If you've never seen Paul, one of those things where you got to see him at least one time. He turns 80 years old tomorrow. He's on stage last night and invites Bruce Springsteen and John Bon Jovi on stage. The three of those guys on stage at one time. How cool is that? Absolutely love it. Also last night, Motley Crue, Poison, Def Leppard, and Joan Jett kicked off their big arena show thing. And about 5 songs into it, Tommy Lee's like, I'm done. Now, I've seen Motley Crue play about 20 times, and I think maybe half of those times they've just quit. Like right in the middle of the show, they'll start arguing and they walk off stage. I saw a show at Oak Mountain Amphitheater. I think they played like 17 minutes, and they just started jocking each other and just teasing each other. Next thing you know, they're walking off stage. But last night, Tommy got up there and walked out in front of the stage and said that he had not broken not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 different ribs. And his doctors said, please do not go on this tour. Do not do this show with Joan Jett, Def Leppard, and Poison. He's like, I'll beast through it, man. I'll fight through it. So he's playing every show. The former drummer for Black Sabbath is filling in for him when he can't play. But he's going to get out, play the first 4 or 5 songs on the Motley Crue tour, probably to get his check. And then kick off. So if you get a chance to go see those 4 bands, and I hear Joan Jett was killer last night. I hear she was just fantastic. So we got that going on as well. And also, of course, I want to mention Happy Father's Day. I talk about my kids a lot. We're going through some things right now. But I have just a wonderful 17-year-old and a 15-year-old boy. Both my sons were adopted from my ex and I. And then along came Lila Jane, who just turned 10 back in April. Father's Day, man, is just so huge for us. Every day is Father's Day. If you're a father and you've got children, you realize that every day is a Father's Day, and we don't need a special day for us to be remembered for anything. But I really think, we talk about the country kind of losing its spirit. The one thing I think we've done really well is I think fathers are a lot more engaged now than they were 20 or 30 years ago. I loved my dad. He was my best friend. He was my best man at my marriage and my wedding. But I didn't see my dad a lot because it was a different time. Back in the 60s and 70s, he was out there providing for his family. He was throwing newspapers all night. I was going to school. I'd see him at dinner time. We'd talk for a few minutes. I'd give him a handshake when I went to bed, and I didn't see him again until dinner the next night. But fortunately for me and for him, in the latter part of his life, his last 20 years when he retired, I got a chance to really spend a lot of time with him, and there was nothing more that I could say to my dad before he passed about 6 years ago. And it still affects me. It still affects me when you have that type of relationship with your father. So just remember this: if you're a dad or you're a son and you have a dad and you have some type of an estranged relationship with your father, it's never too late to start. We all change. Look at the grand canvas of your life. And remember, there's always time to rekindle those friendships and those fathers and sonhoods that are wonderful. And I hope you have a fantastic Father's Day. I can't wait for Sunday. I can't wait to see my kids. I get to spend a few hours with them on Sunday, so I'm really looking forward to it. So have a happy Father's Day. Speaking of Father's Day, by the way, not to turn this into a sales piece, but go to birmingham.woodhousespas.com, birmingham.woodhousespas.com. Guys, there's some things. Guys don't ask for directions. We don't like to be told what to wear, and we won't go and get a massage or a facial or a pedicure or manicure by ourselves. We will if someone buys it for us. So ladies, if you're looking for a great gift, and I can promise you love this, go to birmingham.woodhousespas.com. It's the Woodhouse Day Spas right there at the Summit. They have a special deal where you buy 5 packages, but you get 6 for the price of 5. So you're going to save like a couple $100. And you ladies can go and get the 6 packages for the price of 5. Give him one because they're transferable and they never expire. And then you can take your friends and go have a spa day with the gals. So it's a win-win for everybody. I promise, guys, you're going to love that. Take care of your daddy. Happy Father's Day. Our thoughts and prayers continue to go out to all the parishioners and all the people that are associated with the Episcopal Church there at St. Stephen's. We love you. We're with you. Let's get our spirit back, man. Start praying a little harder. Start praying a little longer. Go to church and love your brothers and sisters and help them out. And I appreciate you. Have yourself a wonderful weekend. I love you.